This video will detail the process to perform a cleanup on your Carlisle HVAC mobile sealant delivery system. In this video, you will see the pump cleaned by utilizing water. This process will be all that is needed to clean up your system on a weekly basis. It is recommended that on a monthly basis, or if you are in a colder climate where freezing is a concern, or if you are going to store your MSDS, that this cleanup process should be followed and the pump final rinse performed using mineral spirits. With the bypass hose set in the waste pail, the pressure dial set to 0, and the pump power switch turned to the off position, move the pump selector switch slowly to the bypass position, vertically down. This will bleed off any residual pressure in your pump system. Then, utilizing the crank handle, raise the pump in order to remove the product pail from the pump. Use a wet rag to wipe off the sealant from the exterior of the drop tube. This will help to keep your wash water cleaner. Load the pail of water onto the spray pump utilizing the pail hook on the front of the pump. Remove the safety guard and spray tip from the gun. You can place these items in your wash water pail to clean later. For cleaning these items, simply wash the safety guard off in the wash water pail or nearby sink. Take care to remove any residual sealant from the center orifice. For the spray tip, wash accordingly, and a suggested tip is to utilize compressed air or a similar air source to blow back through the orifice. It is also acceptable to simply store the spray tips in a small container of mineral spirits. These steps will make sure your spray tips stay clean and usable. Move your waste pail close to the pump and place the bypass tube in the pail. Set your pump selector in the vertical down orientation for bypass. Turn on the pump power switch, then slowly adjust the pressure dial to get the wash water to pump through the bypass tube. Once you see fairly clear water coming through the bypass tube, drop the pressure dial to 0 and shut off the pump power switch. Switch the pump selector switch back to spray. The selector switch can be switched horizontally forward or backward. Place the spray gun safety in the off vertical position while holding the spray gun over your waste pail. Pull the trigger and then start to pump by slowly increasing the pressure dial. Run the pump until you see fairly clear water coming through the spray gun. While keeping the spray gun trigger pulled, turn the pressure dial down to 0 and turn the pump power to the off position. Then set the pump selector switch slowly back to the bypass vertically down position. Moving the pump selector switch slowly ensures any residual pressure in the pump and hose will be bled off slowly. Remove the drop tube assembly. Allow the drop tube to drain, then invert. Remove the cloverleaf washer to check the ball and flat washer. You may need to tap the top of the drop tube assembly to get these items to come out. At times, the flat washer can be stubborn to remove. Using the supplied cleaning brush can help you remove this from the drop tube assembly. Clean these items either in your wash pail or in a nearby sink. It is important to not lose the check ball, so close attention should be used when cleaning these items in a sink. Reassemble with the flat washer on the bottom, then the check ball, and then the clover leaf on top. Set this assembly to the side. Make sure this is a safe location as not to lose any of these components. Utilizing the supplied brush, clean the drop tube. It is recommended to rotate the brush as you move through the drop tube. This will ensure that you are removing any traces of sealant. It is also recommended to visually inspect the drop tube after cleaning to verify that there is no remaining sealant on the interior of the drop tube. Reinstall the check ball pieces as shown. Reinstall the drop tube. Hand tight is sufficient. With the pump selector still in the bypass mode, remove the manifold cover. You will see that the wash water simply made a pathway through the sealant in the manifold. Use a wet rag and a screwdriver or the supplied brush and clean the interior of the manifold to remove the sealant. A quick visual that you can see the opening at the bottom of the manifold will assure that you have cleaned this well. Once cleaned, reinstall the manifold cover. Hand tightening this is also sufficient. With the pump selector still in the bypass mode, make sure the bypass tube is still placed in your waste pail. Turn the power switch to the on position. Slowly adjust the pressure dial to flow wash water through the bypass. Once you see clear water flowing through the bypass, turn the pressure dial to 0 and shut off the power switch to the pump. Set the pump selector switch back to spray. Pull the trigger on the spray gun and then slowly adjust the pressure dial upwards. When you cleaned the drop tube, you added a bubble of air into the system. Continue to flow the wash water through the spray gun until you see the air bubble come through. Once the pump is flowing water continuously, remove your finger from the trigger of the gun. Allow the pump to pressure up and it will stop. Set the safety to the on position on the spray gun. Turn the pressure dial down and turn the pump power to the off position. Attach the bypass tube to the drop tube as shown. Remove the pail handle from the pail hook. Set the pail down on the base of the pump. This will allow any residual water in the drop tube to drain down into your pail. Once drained, remove the pail from the pump. Coil up your spray hose and electrical cord, and your pump cleanup is complete.